I'm Chloe. Thank you for joining me today. This is Rosie. She'll be napping behind us for this class. So first, let's start in an easy seated pose. Legs crossed, hands on the knees. Take 3 deep breaths just to get yourself centered. Taking a moment to set an intention for your practice. And with that intention set, start to make some big circles around to one direction. If your belly is getting pretty big like me, you might need to scoot your legs out a little bit to give yourself space to fold forward in these circles. Don't worry about what it looks like, just notice what you feel. Moving with the breath, noticing where you feel that pushing and pulling in the body, where things crack and pop. And switching it around to the other direction. Bring it back to center and transition into tabletop pose. Setting up for cat and cow. For cow, dropping the belly, tucking the toes, arching the back, shoulders back, chest open. And if it feels okay, you can bring the eye gaze up. Make sure you don't feel like you're overstretching your belly, which is already getting pretty overstretched. And for cat, rounding the spine, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, tucking the chin into the chest. Move through a few of these with your own breath, inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat. Let it feel good. Bringing it back to center, walking the hands forward, a couple of handprints, and starting to make some big circles with the hips. Again, if your belly is big, you might need to separate the knees a little more to make space to send that belly back. And again, don't worry what it looks like, just let it feel good and move with your breath. Switch it to the other direction. Now, if they aren't already, bring the knees as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes to touch and send the hips back towards the heels, reaching the arms forward for wide-legged child's pose. letting the head rest down against the floor. And if it doesn't touch the floor, you can just let it hang, or you can place a block, pillow, or anything that's comfortable underneath the forehead. We'll settle in here for 5 deep breaths. Feeling the spine lengthening, the hips opening, the shoulders and chest melting. On your next inhale, walk the hands back towards you and sit over to one hip, bringing the legs out in front. Excuse me. Now keeping the legs nice and wide so you have space for your belly again. Keep the feet and the knees soft and walk the hands forward. Just as far as it feels right for you today, letting the head and the shoulders melt towards the mat. Taking some deep breaths here. If you have tighter hips and hamstrings, it might feel better to bend both knees, let the ankles roll out to the sides, and then walk your hands forward. Find what feels best for you here. And the longer you stay here, the more you're going to be able to release that tension out of the back and the hips. Don't worry about pushing yourself far into the pose. Make sure you don't feel like you're crushing your belly. Now let's walk the hands back towards us. Bring the bottoms of the feet together for a nice wide butterfly. So the heels are a little further from the hips than normal. Holding on to the feet, inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Do that 2 more times, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold. One more, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Walking the hands back up, bring it back up to a straight spine. Separate the feet as wide as the mat. Bring the hands behind you for support and take some big windshield wipers. Let the knees drop all the way to one side. Look in the opposite direction over your shoulder. And switch. Doing this a couple more times. Then coming back to center and setting up a short Shavasana. Lying down on your left side. If it's more comfortable for you, you can get a pillow, put it between the knees. Just finding yourself a comfortable position. Noticing where you're holding tension in the body and allowing it to release. Staying here as long as you need, but when you're ready, press yourself up carefully to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart and thank yourself for taking this time. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.